Welcome, friends. Welcome, family. What's up, Ma? You guys, it's the watch list. And I think you guys see what's going on. I can't say I'm surprised that it's happening, considering what's been going on. But lately, as the fallout is happening within this administration, full of fascists and egotistical maniacs that don't know up from down and actually have zero competence when it comes to anything with their jobs, but they're starting to fight like for real now because Elon Musk's ego is bruised. Because Elon Musk was exposed, as we saw from the beginning, of how his Doge department wasn't doing anything. I want to let you guys come in and say hi first for a second, because I don't do this enough. I know I don't. There's always something else going on, but I'd like to at least I'd like to talk about this particular thing that's going crazy on the X, which I've pretty much abandoned. I just go in there to see what the craziness the people are talking about. I don't like to participate all that much at all, but I like to see you guys show up. And I'm going to scroll through some of the things that Elon Musk is now saying. Just some of the things. I know I'm a little bit late. I know it's been a few hours since he's been saying some of these crazy, over-the-top things that I guess MAGA didn't think was real, or I guess we're left to now debate about further just because Elon Musk said it. These are no new revelations. These aren't any kind of new evidence behind what he's talking about. It's what all the people with Trump derangement syndrome were saying the whole time about him, before, during, and after the campaign, during his last term in office. But Elon Musk is mad. Elon Musk is upset because he's been exposed for his needless Doge department, which everyone, when they saw it happen, that was thinking clearly, saw how much of a BS endeavor that this was. It was all about coming to the point where they're passing this stupid ass bill that they keep posing as big, beautiful bill, which by the time you hear this a million times, you know that it's just a sales job. They're all a bunch of used car salesmen with crap cars on the lot. But things are blowing up in their face because there was a fight between him and Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, because for some reason he actually thought they were going to come up with these trillions of dollars worth of waste, fraud, and abuse through all these agencies and bureaucracies within the federal government, which they didn't find. But they had to act like they found it. And since it hasn't been found, and now that this bill is getting exposed by even some Republican senators and a couple of other Republicans that actually say, yo, we can't do anything with this. This is adding trillions of dollars to the deficit or to the debt. What are we doing? What's going on? And things are starting to fall apart. Now the narrative has transitioned. I'm going to get to what Elon's saying. I just want to set up why this is happening. Now, this is transitioning from them talking about how they weren't cutting people's and kicking people off of Medicaid to going with work requirements, or we're kicking a bunch of illegal immigrants off of Medicaid. In reality, what it is we're seeing all the BS that they've been pushing for the past decade and a half about how they weren't coming for everyone's normalcy of even the small normalcy of Medicare and Medicaid. Now they're coming for that, and they're posing it as all you have to do is not be lazy, or all you have to do is not. I think Senator Langford decided to characterize it. This is just transitioning us into employer-based healthcare. That means kicking people off of their healthcare. And how many employers offer healthcare? Even the ones that do, you still have to pay. So, hi everybody. What's going on? Let me just first welcome everyone in. So now that a few of you guys have jumped in, maybe we can talk about what Elon has been talking about. Let's see if I can find this page. Let's bring it up and share. I'll be down here in the corner. Look at this guy. Elon Musk on X, the site that he bought and decided to make into a campaign promise for Donald Trump. We'll get to the most juicy thing in a minute, but this is the follow-up that we're seeing from just 38 minutes ago. This same video, as you can see, it was posted on MSNBC, you know, that liberal publication, that liberal outlet, of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. In 92, Trump partied with Jeffrey Epstein. Just going to leave this here from someone else. And Elon Musk puts the curious thinking face there as a part of it. We already knew that, Elon. So his revelations about Donald Trump are what we already knew. It's just he has this voice of a genius. The Donald Trump described him as a genius, the biggest genius of our time, maybe bigger than me during the campaign, because they were partnering up to try and steal our money. And now that that's hitting some roadblocks, they're fighting. This is the only thing this administration was put together to do, was to kick a bunch of people out of the country, was to take a bunch of Americans off of the normal things that they paid for within our government, and then take your money and put it in this huge bill so they can take more of it. So let's go to what the way he posed his big expose. Here it is. Time to drop the real. Here, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. Can we? Come on, thing. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Hold on, it's messing up on me. Have a nice day, DJT. So that's the big revelation, that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. I think a lot of people already speculated that. The problem was many MAGA folks, when he was in office the first time, and then got Epstein killed himself in prison. And all of his sycophants, all the people that are now running the FBI, were talking about there's no way he killed himself in jail because the Clintons did it to him, because Bill Clinton was definitely on those flight logs. I don't know, maybe he was. The problem with people who say things like that and then go and stand for Donald Trump is Bill Clinton also is not my grandfather. I don't care if you expose Bill Clinton for being in the Epstein files and being on those flight logs. Who cares? Good. Bust him too. This is the problem. They think everyone has this weird obsession with these politicians that they're going to protect them by any means necessary when they haven't done anything for us. So let's go back to them, because the X froze, surprisingly. So he dropped this huge bomb and then followed up by saying, "Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out." So in case you guys haven't been following, of course, if you guys are watching me now on the watch list, I talked about a few weeks ago when the FBI, the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, had that joint interview with his deputy head of the FBI, Dan Bongino, and they were scared straight, sitting there shook, eyes wide open, afraid of talking about the reasons why they're still delaying on letting loose on what was in the Epstein files. The same Epstein files that they said they're going to release as soon as Donald Trump is back in office. It was part of the campaign promises that I think all of them they've broken at this particular point. So now Elon Musk is saying, yo, look, this is what it was. I think we saw that writing on the wall, bro, when they continue to be afraid of releasing anything about it. But this is the big revelation. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is why he's not talking about it. This is why they're not releasing the information. I figured at some point they're going to release something, more bits and pieces, trying to find some way to work around all the folks that they want, that are probably on those logs and in the Epstein files that they want to expose, and still somehow protect Donald Trump. But there's probably one or too many people that know the truth, and apparently, maybe, potentially, Elon Musk is one of them. And as those fights continue to break out between him, his ego, and the rest of their egos in the administration, they probably knew this was going to hit the fan at some point, and they just tried to kind of keep it under wraps. But greedy people, billionaires with money, wanting more power and control, you can't divvy it all up, and eventually they start bumping heads. I'm just surprised it took this several months with him in office before stuff like this happened. They're all horrible people. So, of course, I looked at some of the responses from the sycophants, and they're like, well, if you knew this information, Elon, and you covered it up, that means you're complicit too. So they don't want to believe him because they want to think that he's making it up, because maybe they can scare him into not saying what he's saying in hopes that he'd have some fear of getting wrapped up in it too. Okay, good. Who cares? They also think that a bunch of libs are going to love them some Elon Musk because he's exposing the guy they hate, Donald Trump. Elon Musk can go down. Donald Trump can go down. They can still be held accountable for all the actions that they've been carrying out, this reign of terror that they've been going on for several months. By the way, the guy still infiltrated our federal government, still has his fingers and his stupid Doge bros all in all of our personal information, still has access to your tax documents, still has access to your social security numbers, still is infiltrating every avenue and agency within our government and doing whatever the hell he wants with it. It's just being carried out. I think they said Russ Vought is the next guy that's going to continue on this tradition. That racist piece of garbage that was one of the authors of Project 2025 that, again, somehow Donald Trump didn't know about. Do we see it all coming together yet? The thieves are all in the room and they were divvying up the money, and it ain't working out the way that they wanted it to. So now they're starting to shoot each other. You guys ever see Enemy of the State, that Will Smith movie? Sorry, I'm not reading what you guys are saying because I'm just going on rants now. Enemy of the State with Will Smith. Who's seen that? I remember back in the Watchlist live days, I had Trey Crowder on, and we talked about iRobot, again, another Will Smith movie. And he had this Trey he said back in his early acting days, he had the monologue from Will Smith's I, Robot about why he hated robots, and I had him recite it from me. This is another one, another Will Smith classic, where at the end of the movie in Enemy of the State, after he's been tracked, they bugged his shoes, his jacket, his underwear, his head, and he was coming back for some revenge. Gene Hackman, Will Smith, and he was in the room, and it was basically a smoke-filled room of like gangsters, and they were, discussing something. They wanted the tape of the senator that was killed. That was the whole basis for the movie. And they got to shooting each other in the room, and everybody got shot up. And Will Smith's dumb ass was crawling under the table, and he just scared. He outsmarted everyone at the last moment because he was the hero. This is what's going on now. I mean, of course, not in real life, but they're sniping at each other. The shots are being fired. I haven't even looked at Truth Social yet to see if this dumbass is saying anything different than Elon Musk was kissing my ass. So this is the basis for all of these very powerful, genius people that are running our government and trying to control other aspects of the entire world, fighting on X and probably Truth Social over what everyone who I think we all knew was the case. Everyone who was thinking knows that these guys are a bunch of nasty, disgusting, pedophile types that honestly, that doesn't cross. I mean, that's not confronted to one party line of who was probably involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Let me read a couple of things that this guy was saying afterwards. Because again, like I said, he said that he's part of the Epstein files. And he's still also tweeting here and there about the budget because that's what he's mad about, the EV requirements that was taken away. That's what they're fighting about in general. It's about more money. Let's go a little bit higher. There's these other guys you're supposed to follow: Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, and Bill Gates. Oh my God. Here's one. The relationship between Trump and Epstein is well established. Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it's not clear he ever went to the island. Here's what Trump said about Epstein in 2002 New York Magazine profile. Again, 2002, bro. Do you think MSNBC, CNN, I mean, I'm sure Fox News didn't, but anyone all over the internet didn't already post this a million times? But Elon Musk is posting it like, here's the big revelation. We already knew. You guys just refused to accept it. So I'll read it. Epstein likes to tell people that he's a loner, a man who's never touched alcohol or drugs, and one whose nightlife is far from energetic. And if you talk to Donald Trump, a different Epstein emerges. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Again, I'm not sure if MAGA was too busy plugging their ears, closing their eyes, going la 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 la, to not have seen or heard any of this, and for Elon Musk to be the one exposing him for what we already all knew. There's videos of them dancing together. That video's been shown about 1 million times, but people had to stop talking about it because no one does anything about these things. By the way, another aspect of the people who are trying to avoid any of this reality is now them saying, well, Elon's just doing this now because he wants the left to be happier with him and get his EV sales back up because he's now left the administration. It very well could be. So he can keep trying that. The problem is this stuff may have to come out. They're gonna have to talk about it now for sure, because I think there's still people who are kissing Elon Musk's ass, thinking that he's saving some kind of money. Why would his whole thing with Doge be switching up on them now? Why is he detached from them so much? If you're gonna try and apologize for everybody in this situation that you've been worshiping for years now, you have to give me a reason why you still think that at least one of them is not a disgusting piece of garbage. And then when you do make that decision, why you were fooled by them. Why did Elon Musk fool you if he's now the enemy? Why did Donald Trump fool you when previously he was the good guy? Maybe now he's the enemy because you believe Elon Musk. Wherever these factions and guys fall out in different places, there's going to be at some point, if anybody in your life or just in passing is a MAGA person and wants to explain to you why all this is craziness and BS and one guy's bad and the other guy is the only good one left, ask them why you loved both of them at the same time. Because we knew both of them were trash. All they're out was take people's money. Is there more? Let's see what else he's been saying. This is just Elon Musk, Donald Trump time. Excuse me. Oh, this is the one that was talking about the subsidies and contracts. So apparently, Donald Trump at some point said the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. That's one point when he hated Elon Musk before Elon Musk started paying him millions of dollars to help him run his campaign. He also, Trump at one point talked about how trash Teslas were. He said this like recently after that stupid sale where he brought up 3 or 4 Teslas in the White House lawn because some Tesla dealerships and some charging stations were being firebombed. So Elon responded, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. I don't know anything about their Dragon spacecraft. I've actually tried to avoid anything going on with his other businesses and his implementation within the government, that he was getting all these tons and tons of millions of dollars for his government contracts, billions of dollars probably for his government contracts. This is where the division has happened. Money. It's money, bro. Am I missing something, you guys? Let me see what you guys are saying. What am I missing? Oh, I got a crackling microphone. I literally there's always something wrong. I ran this through the folks back in LA. They said the internet speed I've got is just too fast. So somewhere in transition, this isn't working out. Sorry, you guys, about that part. Release the voting machine records, Carmen V says. I don't know if you guys saw different stories. Well, that was at least along those lines. There was some precinct or some areas of precincts in I think a northeastern state where Kristen Gillibrand got all these votes. Kamala Harris got literally 0, and Donald Trump got all the rest. I don't know where the reality of those things are. I've had my suspicions, but it's nothing for me to have seen or know about to really talk about. But at this point, it doesn't matter because it's not going to do anything different if any reality is discovered. They're in the position where they wanted to be in, except for the past maybe week when Mike Johnson had to come out this week and try to continue to defend their stupid ass bill that's going to siphon as much money as they possibly can from everyone else's wallets. So they're fighting about it. Eakins says, breaking news, the numerous pictures of Trump and Epstein already tell us that they had a relationship 100%. Again, this is only speaking to, I guess, the MAGA folks who were, again, ignoring reality. Everyone else that's been paying attention knows the high possibility of this being true. And also the scared looks, again, on the FBI, the new head of the FBI and his deputy director, the scared looks on their faces when they're on Fox News trying to cover this up further. Said Epstein killed himself. All I can tell you is that, believe me. I want to see where Elon was talking, or where Trump was talking about. There it is. Here it is. Sorry, guys. He said Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy. So why was no one going to buy those cars? How come no one wanted his cars when you were trying to sell them on the White House lawn? Again, there's a lot of explaining to do. Because if you glom on to the trash talking that Donald Trump has towards Elon Musk because they're fighting now, you're going to have to account for the fact that when he was kissing his ass and got paid $100 million for that stupid used car sale on the White House lawn, that you bought it all, that you were okay with that you were happy about it. This is why you point out his lies, his constant cycle of lies. Therefore, should you now believe that the $400 million airplane that he's trying to get from Qatar has any kind of a lack of corruption attached to it? Everything he does is transactional. And once the transaction is done, he starts sniping back and forth at the people that he hated. It's the reason why he has these severed relationships. What happened to Rudy Giuliani? Have you guys looked up Rudy Giuliani lately? Have you looked up the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, lately? All those folks that carried water for him when he lost that election in 2020, and they thought that they were going to have a buddy for life. Maybe they get tossed into the administration. Now they're all got lawsuits and losing the underwear off of their from under their pants because Donald Trump left them in the cold because he doesn't give a damn. He got what he needed from them and he moved on. The problem here might be that Elon Musk has a little bit too much money and had way too much access that Donald Trump trusted him with because, again, Donald Trump's for sale. It's on his forehead and attached to his ass. Hi, you guys. Hi, Christina, Elisa Brown. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's a lot of craziness. Anyways, I just wanted to come on and discuss it. I'm curious where you guys were. And it wasn't going to be enough time for me to make a full breakdown video with the history of where these guys have been kissing each other's asses the whole time. But I at least want to say something about it because I've kind of been waiting for this. Not like on a, oh man, I can't wait till this whole blows up the administration because the administration is going to continue chugging along with their illegal activities. They honestly don't care. This is actually the craziest part. One of my last thoughts here, you guys. You could see Donald Trump, you could see a video of Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane. You could see him on the island. There could be videos that come out. There could be standard, strong evidence that comes out of him participating in all the disgusting things that Jeffrey Epstein and them were doing. And there would still be a significant percentage of MAGA supporters that would go, I'm okay with that. You know what? Sometimes a guy needs to take a break and go off to Jeffrey Epstein's island and participate in that disgusting behavior. They would say it. They'd say they've said about everything else. When he first beat Hillary in 2016, they were okay with him with his sexual assault assumptions. We've heard the videos of him talking about how he's going to be dating a 12-year-old in 10 years. The guy has exposed himself a long time ago, but they just give some thin excuse, and enough people who want to believe it because they have other reasons that they love this guy. They believe it. It's set up for them to want to be a part of this whole thing. So it honestly doesn't matter if he's exposed for being a part of the Epstein criminal behavior because they love that part of him. There's lots of criminal behavior that he's been exposed for, has been convicted for. He's a 34-time felon, bro. They still love him. And they didn't say that he didn't do that stuff. They just said, how dare they come for him like this? Anyways, like I said, once the election was over, let's stop arguing with fascists and pedophiles and greedy people who are looking to take your money. These thieves. Let's stop arguing about whether or not they're all those things that they're proven to be. It's who they are. It's what they are. It's their only objective in power. It's to take away as much of many of your freedoms as possible, pit us against each other as many different ways as possible while they steal our money. Because if this whole thing goes through and they take all this money and every kind of entitlement, which honestly shouldn't be a bad word, that we paid for, the things we're supposed to get when we need it and when we want it, these things are supposed to be ours. But they made it into a bad word long enough because there's 3 trans athletes in the country. They've divided you on things like that. And think about why they have and not what they're fighting over. Anyways, maybe we'll keep up to date on where this falls as the fight continues. It's only Thursday. Usually things like this will drop on a Friday so everyone can fight about it over the weekend, and maybe on a Sunday show, someone on CNN can ask about 25% of the question about it and not actually get to the answer. I'd love to see what Moses Mike Johnson has to say about these things, because he said Elon Musk is as good a friend. He talks to him every night. They have pillow talk every night, and they have sweet conversations. And now he's not taking his phone calls anymore. Thanks, you guys. It's good to see you. How long have we been on here? Almost 25 minutes. I'm glad to talk to you. I know maybe we'll do it more. Also, you guys, in case you don't know, there's another page on this whole Twitter thing. I mean, not Twitter. There's another page on this whole YouTube thing. It's called Jayar Rated. You know how to spell my first name, Jayar, then Rated. I put a lot of other smaller clips on there. I've just got that one started a little bit more over there. Come and check us out. Follow me there. I sometimes do things outside the Watchlist stuff there, where I have my other breakdowns and maybe some things like this. I like to build that a lot and talk maybe with you guys on these direct levels, maybe with a few guests. I can't really do it here. I'm gonna do it over there. So if you guys get the opportunity, since you're already over here, go check out JR Rated. Come holler at me. We'll do this more often. Maybe not when huge stories like Elon Musk saying the obvious come out. Good to talk to you. Tell your friends, tell your families. What was that one guy that said back in the old Young Turks days? He was a crazy state congressman guy. You guys remember it. The old school fans will know. But I'll talk to you guys later. Good to see you. Maybe soon again next time. Go Elon. Go Trump. Go at each other's throats. See you later.